Hello and welcome to Home-Based Business Review. I'm your host, Carl Douglas, and today we're going to be talking to, and I would say he don't think he's an expert, but guess what? When he opens his mouth, I got to tell you, what comes out it can be life-changing. So make sure you grab that pen and piece of paper, okay, and have that handy because we're going to cover, today we're going to cover a very interesting subject, okay? And how do you grow your business online? And we have Daniel Kump on the line there. How you doing, Daniel?
Man, I'm doing well. How about you?
You know, it's beautiful. Every day I wake up, I got to tell you, when I get on the phone, I call my loved ones. I want to know how they doing, and then I can answer that question probably in the afternoon because they are important in my life.
Awesome.
So tell me, how do you grow your online business in today's world?
So this is kind of a two-part answer, and this answer probably isn't the answer that most people think it is, because when people get started in an online business, most people, it's kind of that desperation, poverty mindset, lottery ticket mentality where people want an online business and they're looking for some type of easy button. How do I press click or press send or press this button and poof, I just have this business that's generating me cash.
Yes.
So that's where most people kind of go down that rabbit hole. And most of those people give up and quit because the real reason how you grow an online business is you work on your mindset and you grow and develop your skills and skill sets. That's how you grow an online business. And it's not something technical where, oh, you have to, because you'll think this. I have to go here. I have to create a website. I have to have a product. I have it, either have an affiliate offer. I have to have my own product. I have to have a site and a checkout page and link all this stuff together. And it's all technical. And oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. That's where the circle back to where the mindset comes into play. And the very first thing you have to start working on is learning and developing and growing your skills and skill sets, working on your mindset, and be committed to that. 100% be committed to that. Because like we've talked about in the past, in other interviews, is this 4 or 5 times that I've been here? I lost count. So, but one of the other times, 5, okay. One of the other times we were talking about specifically the 3 keys, the 3, platform foundational pieces that make up an online business. It's having the right mindset. So working on you, I call it working on you every single day. So your mindset and your skill set. 2 is driving traffic. 3 is following up and getting in the follow-up, getting sales and conversions. Same thing. So, but it all starts with mindset, because if you don't have the right mindset, if you aren't committed to making this work, if you aren't committed to learning how, if you do have to go and develop and create a website to go sell your products or services, or you do need to, take an affiliate offer, if you want to go be an affiliate for Amazon, like that's cool. But now you got to figure out, okay, what links, items, products, services do I want to sell? How do I get people to see those? How do I drive traffic? How do I set up an autoresponder? How do I follow up with those people? How do I automate this machine, automate my online business? How do I create that whole thing? Well, you have to have the mindset to be able to go learn and do and figure that stuff out. And that's where mindset comes into play. That's where just about every single thing that I teach, it always leads with mindset. If I'm ever, yesterday I have a dry erase board over here on the wall. I was teaching and telling people, part of kind of like a Tech Tuesday thing. Today's Wednesday. I was a Tech Tuesday thing. So I was explaining people how to, get into their email list and send out certain pieces of information to keep people focused on you versus going off to the world of Facebook or YouTube and getting lost down the YouTube or Facebook rabbit hole. And it was a technical tip, but again, if you don't have the right mindset to go learn how to do what I was explaining, and this is what I always weave, I kind of like a basket weave. I weave mindset into any lesson that I'm teaching, because the reality is, like, when I got started 5 years ago, when I got started online, I knew jack about anything that I teach today, but The point is I took the time to actually go learn it. And the beauty is now I can turn around, I can teach that to other people. So as long as you are willing to put in the time, to put in the effort, to be open, to be resourceful is huge. If you want to learn how to grow an online business, being resourceful is huge, but just have the mindset and the attitude to be willing to learn how to do stuff, because at the end of the day, it's not complicated. Most of it's like point, click, and drag, and like all this simple stuff. Like if we were talking about this 15 years ago, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, and we were talking about how to grow an online business, the conversation would be completely different. It'd be like, well, you know, you might want to learn some HTML code. You might want to learn about PHP. You might want to learn about, you know, some of this, you know, coding software, different things. But now like all that stuff's done for you.
Yes.
Like what the technical stuff of what you really have to do today really isn't that complicated. And if you can follow some basic videos and directions, like you can figure this stuff out. But in order to get there, you have to have the right attitude and you have to have the right mindset, or else it will never happen.
That's very important. You know, it's a revolution that's going on right now. A lot of people are starting a home-based business. Why do you think that's happening?
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons, but I mean, obviously, like one of the elephant in the room right now, the big thing is, you know, I would say kind of on the tail end of a global pandemic where, you know, if you look at last year, March, April, when a lot of businesses were temporarily closed and a lot of things were closed for good. Like a lot of businesses, especially, you know, I'm up in Massachusetts or right on the border of New Hampshire, and a lot of businesses up here actually went out of business. Even my sister-in-law had, you know, a salaried 40-hour a week job, and they cut her down to 25 hours a week. So people are looking for money. They're looking for ways to make more money. And some of them, you know, some of them were like forced into it where they didn't have any other choice. And what may have been a trend for the last few years where people were kind of just more like, you know, clicking around, you know, how do I make money online? How do I make money from home? Is more like, all right, you know, let me poke around at this late at night when I'm surfing around on my phone or my, you know, MacBook or laptop or tablet or whatever. And I think in 2020, that got a little more serious. Yes. I think people kind of started to go, wow, well, maybe this, I do need to look at this as another viable option. Yes. And I know for me, I saw 2020 was a huge growth year for my business and my different products and services that I promote, because more and more people are looking to supplement their income. And I think that's just it. And so there's more and more people surfing the web. There's more and more people looking to do that. So I kind of coined the phrase, I think it was back in 2020 in November, kind of as we were coming to the close of 2020 and we were starting a new year. And it's kind of crazy because you see a lot of people were commenting on social media, on Facebook, especially towards the end of December, like, oh, I can't wait for 2021. Let's get back to normal. I can't wait for this new year to start. Like the sad part for me is I think a lot of people think that once the clock strikes 12 and we get into this new year, that like some kind of magical wand's going to wave and all of a sudden everything's going to be back to normal. Like what the heck is normal right now in our day and age society? Like what the heck is normal? So right. I kind of coined this phrase that, you know, 2021 is going to be the year of the entrepreneur. 2021 is going to be the year where I think a lot of people finally start to have that like aha moment that if I, instead of just like, it's sitting in the back of somebody's head somewhere where they're thinking like, you know, someday I'll take a look at that. Someday I should get into that. Someday I'll take that more seriously. Well, I know my friends, brothers, sisters, Michael does really well in doing that stuff, but you know, I don't really know a lot about it. Someday I'll look into that. Well, I think 2021 for a lot of people is kind of like that tap on the back of the head for people to be like, all right, I think I need to take this serious now, because more and more and more people are seeing the results and seeing the benefits of it's kind of like, you know, Carl, for me and you, like the secret society that we knew about for the last few years that we've been making money online.
We
now
can't
I
talk
think,
go ahead.
yeah, now I think like more and more people will be like, wow, like maybe there is some truth to that. Maybe I do need to look into that, because I mean, the reality is, like, you know, if you guys are hearing my voice, that it works. Like, I've been doing this for 5 years. I get to work from home. I got out of bed about 8 o'clock this morning. I could have got up earlier, but I didn't feel like it. I was nice and comfy and cozy in bed. And you got to realize like that it is possible. It is possible for you to live that laptop lifestyle or that work from home lifestyle. But to what we just talked about in the previous question is you just got to be committed. You got to have the right attitude. You got to take it serious, and you got to put the time in. You got to go, whatever it is that you want to do. It doesn't matter. If you want to sell coffee mugs, iPhone cases, water bottles, affiliate products, it doesn't matter. Take the time, learn it, figure it out, and just go do it. And if you have that attitude, then you 1000% should start and have a home-based business. And what I mean, this could be an entirely separate webinar.
Yes.
One of my favorite topics about being a home-based business owner is just like that. Once you actually have a home-based business, and it doesn't matter if it's like Amway, Mary Kay, home-based, you know, your own baked goods site, or you're an affiliate marketer, it doesn't matter. Once you have a home-based business, you now have incredible tax deductions and services that are available to you. As a matter of fact, I just got and again, like we can go on this for days, but I just got literally a grant from the government as a small business owner, something called the PPP.
Yes.
It's an SBA loan, and it's a loan that I don't have to pay back. I just got a check yesterday for over $20,000.
Wow.
Because I'm a home-based business owner. Right. And I claim my taxes. Mm-hmm. I have a Schedule C, which is like, you know, a private business. And because of that Schedule C, how I claim my taxes, I have a really good tax guy. I was now able to get a loan from the government for my business that I don't have to pay back.
Yes.
$20,000.
You know what?
Because I'm a home-based business owner. And
that right there, somebody who's listening to this right now, I'm sure a lot of them, they probably want to know, where do I go? How do I do that? I will put that information at the bottom. So, but the thing about it, if you got the information, folks, but if you don't act upon it, you just lost. You just read it. He just told you. I myself as well have received money, and I scratch my head and go, wow, do I really need it? Yes, I need the money, because you can do so much with it, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
but you were just talking about, that was really important, you know, at the $600 that you make, because you can't, you know, until you are showing that you're making income over $600, and then all of a sudden everything, it just changes everything. You're in a whole different light with the government. So people need to understand that. And also I will put a link there for them to get some information about that as well. Yep. But these are things that people need to do, you know, when they start in a home-based business. It's just not just going ahead and starting it. You need to also understand how to keep it going.
Yeah. Well, let's just call it what it is. And this is where I like to be point blank with people.
Okay.
Is you can watch as many videos as you want. Like the video that you're watching right now, you can watch as many videos as you want. But if you don't take action, it does you zero good. Zero. So start a home-based business, get in there, figure it out, be resourceful, have the right attitude, have the right mindset. And there's plenty of things, books you can read, podcasts you can listen to, groups you can get into, mentors you can follow to sustain and build that positive attitude so you can stay moving forward and then start working towards your dreams, your goals, your visions, your aspirations, whatever it is. But if you just sit there like a lump watching videos, it's not going to do you any good.
Nope. It won't help at all. Here's and thanks, Daniel, for that information. That was golden. Here's something very important. People want to understand, okay, you have a business. How do you maintain your business? How do you scale up in your business? This is so important. Go ahead.
Kind of really a two-part answer here. So to answer this question specifically, why scaling up in your business is so important. Why would you want to scale? Well, you have to ask yourself, do you want to make a little to no money, or do you want to make a lot of money? That's pretty simple. Most people would want to make a lot of money. Most people, they get an online business because of the dream. They want to pay off their debt, travel more, spend more time with their family, live the lifestyle, whatever that reason is why people start. It's not about the money. It's about what the money allows them to do. So why is scaling important? Because you need to be able to get to that point where you can actually do that stuff. But the how, I mean, the how is, it's funny that the how is something that I would say almost 99% of the leaders, gurus, programs, platforms, education sites, whatever, I've found that in the last 5 years, no one really teaches how to scale. No one really teaches the technical way of like, okay, how do you take a basic online business, whatever it is, if it operates online, 100% you need visitors going to your website. So as an example, like Amazon.com, they do probably the best job I've ever seen at driving traffic through advertising via, radio, retargeting ads on Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, other websites, all of those other things. They do a great job of driving traffic to Amazon.com. Why? So they can sell products and services. Back to the 3 simple things. Jeff Bezos has the right mindset, the attitude to keep moving Amazon forward ever since 1997 or 96, whenever it was. And then they drove traffic to the site. They turned that traffic into products and services. That's the simplicity of an online business. So your site or link or, business, whatever it is, needs those things to happen. So I started to realize, like, over the course of, years of doing this, building online businesses, is that nobody is out there teaching specifically how to scale. And the quickest way that I could explain that is coming up with, a weekly traffic budget, figuring out where to get your traffic sources, figuring out, what I did is I tested traffic vendor after traffic vendor after vendor after vendor after vendor after vendor, testing hundreds, if not thousands of different traffic vendors, testing different email follow-ups, testing different systems, testing different ways of conversions and how to get more conversions, things to do, how to send out the right email follow-ups, how to get people back into focusing on you, all of these different things. And to be able to do it and do it effectively, sounds kind of complicated, but when you actually break it all down, it's really not that difficult. So I said to myself, knowing me, like we've talked about before, ILT, invest, learn, teach, invest time, sometimes money, learn something, and then turn around and teach that to others. What I did in the last couple of months is I actually created a course called Scalability Pro. We're putting the finishing touches on that now. So depending on, when and where you watch that video, it may be around this video. Carl might share that with you, but I actually created a course that in a really simple and kind of point blank way walks people through exactly how to scale any online business. And it doesn't matter if you're selling, like I talk about, like if you're selling iPhone cases, watches, other affiliate products, you have your own baking goods service. Like if you have an online business that you want people to go to buy your products and services, this product will teach you in a really simple way how to scale. And I break it down in a handful of videos that kind of maps it out. And I use my real life numbers too. I actually use my real life numbers and show you, okay, this is what you do kind of on day one. This is what you do here. This is how you take this and move it over here to this. And more importantly for me, I focus, watching some of my videos here, you know that I'm a little long-winded and I go into details. And I do that because I want people to understand as I explain something, not just how to do it, but why it's done that way. So it ultimately makes more sense. So for me, I go into those details. So you're going to understand the why this makes sense and why and how in 2020, we talked about 2020 being a good growth year for online business. I started out at the beginning of the year with a $200 traffic budget, you know, getting about 400 to 500 visitors to my site per week. Towards the end of the year, I scaled that all the way up to a $5,000 weekly traffic budget, getting over 11,000 visitors to my site per week. Now, I mean, simple question, Carl, like, do you think 11,000 visitors to your site per week would generate a good amount of sales and revenue?
Definitely, because you got a target market that's coming there.
Yeah, and that's just people landing on the site. That doesn't even factor into, you know, retargeting, email ad campaigns going out, all of the follow up that happens after, and of course in Scalability Pro, I also teach people like what happens after they land on your site. I give like 3 other very specific ways and options that you can turn around and you can retarget that. So you're hitting people from multiple different sides, getting them back focused on you and your product or business. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. And we're going to be launching that probably in the next 2 weeks. So yeah, that's, in my opinion, that's going to be a game changer for sure.
You know what? It's a blessing to have people like you, mentor speakers that are out there teaching the real stuff. You know, the ones that, you know how they say, like, I'm going to use this term because I was in the military, but you know, the people who are on the ground, the boots on the ground, they're going to tell you basically what's working, what's not working. Okay. And for anybody who wants to understand the shortcut to success, you find somebody who's successful doing what you want to do. And at the same time, they have already made those mistakes, and they're going to tell you, don't go that direction, go this direction. You know, what would you rather follow? If you're going from California to Seattle, Washington, would you rather go to New York first and then come back? You want a straight line of a direction. So I would have to say, you know, like, we've been watching you, Daniel, and I got to tell you that you are very successful no matter what you do. Over the years, I've seen you with other companies. So it's not, you know, successful people leave clues. I always say that, you know. And so those who are listening to this right now, here you have it. You know, he's giving you a lot of things that you need to be aware of before you step in there and start your own business. Or if you're on the fence wanting to start your own business, you need to find those people who have actually been through it. You know, the boots on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, don't step on there because you're going to run into a mine. And if you run into a mine, you may blow up. And then guess what? Most people give up when they don't succeed. But I'm here to say, and here's something else. We didn't really talk too much about it, but for 2 minutes, tell us why you kept going. You know, I know you stepped on mines and you blew up here and there, but you kept going. What was your drive?
I think it's fair to say 100% that I made the decision, and we talked about this in other webinars, but made the decision back in 2016 that it was just like one of those gut decisions. I had dabbled for years. I had literally just kind of dipped my toes in the water and dabbled, never really got any kind of serious results. And then it was, you know, something, my family, where I just made that decision 100% concrete, you know, etched in stone, that I was never, you know, my family was never going to worry about money again. And I made that decision that day. And you know, since then, I mean, crazy life has happened. I've experienced, you know, some hurt, some loss. You know, we shared another webinar, like we lost our son. You know, just crazy life has happened in the last 5 years. But
that's
what everyone
there.
Yeah, what everyone needs to realize that is if you make the ultimate decision that you decide that you're going to do this, like we mentioned multiple times, it all comes down to attitude and mindset. And that if you make the decision, you'll find a way, you'll figure it out. So it doesn't matter if you get blown up or you get thrown off course or something happens, life happens. Like life happens to all of us every day. But you just need to decide that you actually want it. And if you do, you'll figure out a way, you'll find a way, you'll be resourceful, you'll go, you'll grow, you'll learn, you'll develop, all of those things. So, you know, how I was able to keep going is I just made that decision. And honestly, it sounds really simple. Oh yeah, I just got to decide. I signed up. I decided. Yeah. No. Like you'll know you decided when the blank hits the fan. When life gets really hard or challenging, or, you know, you got your mortgage payment coming up and you don't know how you're going to pay it, you're going to know then if you decided. Because if you choose to say, all right, well, this business over here is $50 a month plus, maybe some other tools or whatever, I'm just going to quit and stop paying that so I can pay my bills. Like, yes. You haven't decided if you go do that. If you go quit, then you haven't decided. You don't want it bad enough. But that you'll realize how serious you are when times get tough. That's how you'll know.
Yes. Thank you. We got 3 minutes left, and I want you to cover this right here. 5 rules you need to know to be successful in business. We want to talk about each one of those rules for the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know 5 specifically, but
yes, priority list.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I can make them up, but like, I mean, this is just going to circle back to everything that we've talked about. So, I mean, to be successful in business, and so, I mean, this is kind of like a regurgitated version of things that we've already talked about, but these for me have just been absolutely critical for the last 5 years. Like I wouldn't have been able to earn, over $500,000 online without these 3 things. So number 1 is be committed. Well, actually, I'll circle it back to numero uno is you just have to decide. Business rule number 1, like you have to decide. And it's kind of like, blank or get off the pot, right? Like you either want it or you don't. End of story. You either want it or you don't. And if you just want to watch videos and not do anything, then you don't want it. If you actually go take the action and you stay consistent with that action, then you do want it. So decide is number 1. Number 2 is be committed to working on you every single day. Like I never stop working on me. And I think I shared this with in a previous one, but like, this is a book that I'm reading right now. I'm almost done. Like, this is gold. This is literally gold. It has already changed my business. So, I mean, I'm committed to working on me every day, whether it be mindset or skill set or a combination of both. So that would be kind of rule number 2. Rule number 3 is drive traffic every single day. You want people going to your site. Rule number 4 is focus on conversions. And if you go back to rule number 2 is working on your mindset skill set, you're going to find and learn and develop ways to increase your sales and conversions, which is kind of like that last step. So, I mean, that's 4. I don't think I even need 5, but you just gotta decide, you got to work on you got to drive traffic, you got to follow up. I mean, those are some really, really basic things that, sure, if you dive down under the umbrella of those, you can, weave in a lot of other stuff, but that's the core. That's the foundation. Like if you don't have those things, you really don't have a functioning business.
Yes. I totally agree. You just heard the map. He just gave you the direction on the map from A to B. It's going to solve a lot of your problems in the beginning. Also, I would say find someone like Daniel that's going to be your mentor, that you can call on a speed dial and he would answer and say, hey, yes, so what can I help you with? That guidance is just as important. So let's say that's going to be 5 right there. Find a good mentor.
True. Yeah. I mean, that is important. You do have to surround yourself with the right people 100%.
Yes. Get involved.
I mean, we could make a top 10 or a top 20, Yeah,
we can. We definitely can. One thing I noticed also, get in a mastermind group of like-minded people who have what you want. You don't want to go in there and be more intelligent than anybody in there. You want somebody to have this. You want to get up there. You don't want to be like you. This is you, and what you gonna do? Go back down here, try to catch up with them? No, find you somebody who's here that you can learn from to get up here. Always find somebody who has more than what you want. Okay, that's what I would say. But Daniel, I gotta say, I would love to keep you online, talk more about it. We just have to come back again and do this again. Is that okay with you?
I guess, yeah, we'll go for number 6.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. And I got to tell you, I'm getting feedback from people that they love to hear you talk. They love to hear what you have to say. We can say it more than one time. You know, you got to hear it 7 times, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Before you start. But there's somebody, I'm sure, that's going to want to look at your product when it comes out, and we'll talk about that. Then I'll post it for them to go get it. It's going to be hot. It's going to be a hot commodity. You know, the people are not talking about that subject, how to scale up. Once I said that in the beginning, you know, you go ahead, you start a business, but that's one step. You want to maintain your business. You want to scale up your business, and that's what we're talking about right here. But yes, once again, thanks for your time. I know you're a busy person. I appreciate your time. They appreciate your time. And next time we'll try to do this live so they can come and ask some questions.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. I love to interact with people, and I love to be able to help people, especially answering questions live. So that way, you know, we're getting them what they need and helping them out. Absolutely.
Yes, yes. And the last parting question I would have for everyone who's listening, why would you want to start your own business? I want the answer to that.
And it's not money.
No, it's not money. It's definitely not money. Okay, Daniel, thanks again. We'll see you soon, okay?
All right. Take care, man. We'll talk soon.
Will do.